Hey, fellow geographers. I guess I can lose some of my sun protection here. I hope that you all had a good weekend and that this week they're all good, all the weeks, but I'm really excited about how this week is structured because it really focuses on the observation journal and really making sure that you have a strong foundation in the chapter one content. And I just recognize that like observing the world like as intentionally as we are and also reflecting on it can be new skills for people and not something that it's always asked of you in a college course. So I wanted to provide like role model a little bit and just kind of demonstrate how one might do that. There's all kinds of different ways, and that's the cool thing about having so many different people in this class is we all engage in really cool things outside of officially outside of class, right? But it all connects into world regional geography. So I just wanted to kind of share with you something I've been working on up here in Albuquerque, and how I could, if I needed to, like I could roll that into this week for activity and really trying to think about chapter one content. So I've been working on the property here that I live on. I'm renting from a guy, and we're making like a hugel mound, and you can look that up on your own. I'm not sure exactly how to spell it, but it's essentially we've kind of dug a pit, and then we've also like buried the dirt from the pit is burying like logs and other like branches and things like that. And the idea is that it'll kind of become like a sponge and soak up a lot of water since it's dry up here in the high desert, and kind of form like a cool essentially like biome uh, for for the yard here. So I'll just kind of take you around here. It's kind of C-shaped, but here's the pit, and I'll just kind of walk around here. So I'm like walking up where it's like really tall, where we've kind of piled up the dirt. And basically it kind of forms like the high ground anyway, kind of forms like a kind of like a C shape roughly. And then the entrance would be over here where it's not fully really high, but then it would continue on kind of around there. Let's walk back to kind of where we started. And so just like that little project I'm working on outside of coursework, easily, like reflects, easily fits into chapter one content and like what's going on. And the things that when I was thinking about this yesterday a little bit, and I was thinking about like how when I started river guiding, the owner of the company gave me some like great advice since I needed to understand how water worked and how to read water better, but I couldn't always, you can't always, go rafting. But he told me to start like paying attention to like what small streams do, or even like, this might seem weird for some folks, right? But like if like you're peeing outside, right? And like just watching like what the stream of water that's coming out from you, like how it interacts with the environment and what it does. And so like essentially like these smaller examples of what's going on in the world can give you incredible knowledge on it at larger scales. And so like what made this project maybe start thinking about, is just thinking about like the basin and the valley that Albuquerque and Las Cruces are in, and how like the high mountains and how they're at these different, they have these different climates and these different vegetation that's able to grow on them and things like that. And how essentially like that's the whole point of the hugel mound, right? Is like you're just kind of creating micro environments, microbiomes, with some intention behind it. Um, and the cool thing with world regional geography, right, is we're trying to synthesize all kinds of different information. So that's like environmental information, but that connects to, doing a hugel mound connects directly into like economics and politics even, right? So like thinking of, you know, Jim here grows, food, and so that's a small portion of a larger economy, right? But like what if more people did certain things or got food from like land that they had access to. Like things like that could affect larger scales. Um, and same thing like with politics, right? So like if there were a lot more people farming, right? Like that's something that's like a general trend, right? There's like less and less farmers, and there's economic forces that are making agriculture get bigger and bigger in the United States. Bigger and bigger being like the 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 owners of own more and more land, and it kind of becomes like this more like industrial kind of Monsanto agriculture, right? And so those forces have political aspects to them as well, and it's complicated. It's not clear cut and clear and dry, right? It's not either or, right? Like Republicans or Democrats only think of these one things or support these other kind of things. It's more nuanced than that. So those are kind of some of the thoughts that I've had while I've been working on this Hugel mound, and even just thinking of culture, right? This other aspect to world regional geography. I mean, it's in the name, right? Agriculture. So like working on a project like this is cool. I was there's this portion over here where I've been kind of trying to dig it so that the water wants to kind of go towards this one tree that's coming off the Hugel Mound, and it just made me, earlier today when I was digging, it just made me like feel connected to all like how many hundreds, thousands of people and generations of people in the Rio Grande Valley have dug acequias and done work to maintain acequias and irrigation ditches and all the rest. So it was just kind of a cool moment to kind of connect into the local culture as well. So I'm excited for whatever you do in your world and how you start to see Chapter 1 content come alive this week. You all rock, and don't ever hesitate to ask me questions or just even share what you got going on.